Yes, yes. What's going on, guys? My name is Eddie Transcendent, and you're tuning in to Transcendent Outlook Podcast. Specifically, this is the Entrepreneurs of Connecticut series. I'm super excited for today's interview. Today, I'm interviewing a friend who I've been wanting to interview for a long time now. We've talked about it. I've like DM'd her about it a few times, and then I just never got back to her. And things happen here and there. But the truth is, she's doing amazing work, and I want to know more about what she got going on. And I know that a lot of people out there don't know what she has going on, right? They don't know her, or maybe they know what she has going on, but they don't know that she's like the brains behind it, right? And so what we're gonna do today is that we're gonna interview Takina, and Takina is gonna tell us, hopefully let us know about herself, who she is, where she comes from, right? But also tell us about the journey that came before the building of Skateport, right? Skateport, from what I see from the outside, it's a beautiful thing that's kind of brewing, that's coming up, that's still like in a baby stage, but it's something that every time I look at pictures and videos and whatnot on social media, I see people having fun. I see the comments. I see like good vibes, right? And I think that's the best way to kind of describe Takina. Takina, she's good vibes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get Takina up here so we get this going. Takina, what's going on?
How are you, Eddie?
I'm really good. I'm really good. And I'm really excited for this conversation. I'm getting myself pumped up only because it's been a while that I've been wanting to do this. You and I have known each other for a little while now. We worked together a few years ago, and I got to know you a little better there. And I just found that whenever you and I talked, it was just we had like this I don't know, it was just like this nice chemistry of like a nice vibe, right? And then I started to notice that wherever you were, that's where that vibe was. Like it's like a good feeling around you, right? And, and so I love it. And so I was like, man, like if I could get her to jump on a podcast with me, I feel like it'll be a nice vibe, a nice smooth going interview. But let me shut up and let me let you tell me a little bit about yourself. What's going on? How are you?
I'm great. You're setting up bar real high, Eddie.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. What's going on with you? Tell us first of all. Tell me how you're doing today. What's going on?
I'm doing great. It's been a really interesting start to the year with Skateport. I don't know where you want me to start. I mean, I guess you know me because we used to work together, but I guess an
Yeah.
intro might
Well,
help.
I know you, but I don't know you, right? Like I know you. I know what you. I'm not sure. I don't even know if you still work there, right? So I don't know if you still work there. I know I know you have a beautiful dog, right?
Yes, Yoshi.
I knew. I have like little parts and pieces, but like I don't have like the full thing. So tell us about you. Like who is Takina? Where do you come from? What's going on?
So I'm Takina. I'm the founder of Skateport. I'm a Bridgeport original. I'm a UConn alum. I got my master's in global development and peace from the University of Bridgeport. I started Skateport in 2021. I've been working in nonprofits, mostly in Bridgeport for the majority of my career. I'm not at Caroline House anymore. I'm the director of the Bridgeport
Oh.
Farmers Market Collaborative now.
Okay, okay. Well, wait, I feel like you were there. You were at the farmers market when you were at Caroline House, correct? I remember
I
you.
did.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
always have a few jobs.
Okay, so you were kind of you at the time you were kind of like juggling a little bit, and now you just kind of went over there full time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
okay.
quite
That's
full
what's up.
time, but I'm giving them more of my time, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. Now you kind of sped through it real quick. You said you went to the University of Bridgeport, and what was your major?
At UB was global
Yeah.
development and peace.
And what does that mean exactly? Like what does that break down into?
The way that I looked at it, a lot of it was looking at like the global north versus the global south and like how those things are kind of ruining the world, in my opinion.
Okay.
But for me, like looking at it locally, right? So when we think about like these global huge movements, like they have to start in smaller places.
Yeah.
And how do we sort of develop the world in a way that respects the people, respects the earth, and makes it all work together? So
And where did that come from? Where why? I mean, I feel like this is this is not. Oh, I went to school for general studies, or I went to school for law enforcement. Like this is like super, like you know what I mean. Like where did that come from?
I think the in hindsight, I think it's this entrepreneurial spirit is mostly where it
Okay.
came from. I think just living and working in Bridgeport, there are so many things that aren't working. So how do you sort of rebuild or like recreate the world that you want to see? is the way that I looked at it and the way that I approached my degree and really the way that I approached my work. Like I did a lot of community organizing. I've been working in a lot of nonprofits in Bridgeport for a long time. And I think for me, it's like I was doing a lot of really good work, like addressing basic needs like food, education, employment.
Yeah,
And I think in that work, we were trying to find ways to like make it fun. Like, how do we make people have a good time? And for me, I'm
yeah.
like, how do we just center fun and center joy? And I think that was one of the things that got me to start Skateport.
And when you were going to school, did you have an idea of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and when I get done, like when I graduate, this is what I want to do? Like, was there an idea yet, or was it kind of like, hey, I'm just gonna go with the flow and see kind of what happens?
That really was not the plan at all. Like
Okay, okay,
entrepreneurship was not the path. I don't think
yeah,
you definitely don't need a degree to be an entrepreneur. So had I known that, like I maybe I wouldn't have gone. But
yeah,
but but I think it definitely opened my mind a lot to what's possible.
of
And
course.
like, how to move in the landscape of a city or a town or wherever you are.
I feel like a lot because of what you just said, that to be an entrepreneur you don't have to, you don't need a degree to be an entrepreneur. I think because of that, a lot of the conversation has been, at least that I've been hearing, has been, do we even need, like do we need school anymore? Like do people even have, like, I know, and I get it. I'm just like, that a lot of people are super like, oh no, like against school, and then some people are like super for school. I'm like in the middle. I think you just have to know yourself and know, what you're doing, right? But you did it. You went to school. You got your degree. What would you say? Like, even though you may have went a different direction, what would you say are some of the things that you picked up in school? Not in terms of like education, but just other things that you picked up in school that perhaps help you now.
I think networking was a big one. Like Yukon Huskies go hard in Connecticut and all over the
Yeah,
country, honestly.
yeah,
So some of that, I think, just like I think it opened my worldview. I think it opened me up to travel, to meeting different types of people, and yeah, I think it gave me more experiences, at least in undergrad, that I don't think I would have had otherwise, or I think would have taken me longer to get to.
So just like making connections. So was it the making connections, or was it, okay? Was it making connections? Was it learning how to make connections, or was it like a combination of both? Like
I
were
think
you
it's
were you
all of it. Yeah.
were you a communicator already? Like growing up, were you like super outgoing and whatnot?
Oh, I've never had a problem saying what's on my mind,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think school kinda helped me refine that, right, in some
Yeah,
ways, and how do you communicate? I think taking, in my master's program, I focused on conflict resolution, um, and I think that was really helpful, you're gonna work with people that you don't necessarily like or people that aren't your favorite people, so how do you, navigate that space in a way that, you can still get things done, but still, respect boundaries and everything else, so I
the,
think
the,
school is helpful. I don't think it's for everybody, and I definitely don't
yeah.
think it's necessary to run a business.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I feel like it's it changes for every person, right? I think that
Mhm.
somebody making a blanket statement of like school is not good or school is good, I just don't think we should do that. And but I just bring it up because again, you have a little bit of both. Have you ever been? And we're going a totally different direction than I thought we were going to go. But have you ever been introduced to any kind of like personality assessment type of things where you learn more about yourself and learn more about other people? Because when you talk about kind of like being able to kind of get along with people, why not even people that maybe you don't like? Have you ever
Mhm.
learned or done anything like that?
You're asking about, like, the Myers-Briggs test?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I've done those.
do you feel any kind of way about that kind of stuff?
I think some of it is pseudoscience. I
Yeah,
think, like, I think there's merit to some of it. I don't know, I think it can go a few different ways. Like, I think if I were to take the test now, like, I might score a little differently than when I took it probably, like, 5, 10 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, definitely. I mean, there definitely going to be some growth, right? I think overall you're still Takina, but of course there's some growth in some things, especially as you learn more about yourself. Then you work more on those things that perhaps you need to work on and whatnot. All right,
Yeah, I
so
think they're helpful for as like a guide for
yeah,
where you want to be or a jumping
yeah,
off point.
yeah. No, definitely, definitely. All right, so you go to school and you graduate. What happens after graduation?
I was working full time and going to school, so I
Oh,
kept
okay, okay.
working.
Okay, okay. So you get to
Yeah,
working. And
yep,
when I met you, you were an ESL teacher, correct? Or
mhm.
an IESL. What is that? What it would be? Was that the title?
Yep, yeah, so I was teaching English as a second language.
And how did that come about? How because man, that's gotta be like I sat in your class a few times, and I know like I speak both languages, English and Spanish. But I don't know how I could teach. I don't know that I would be able to teach a person who only speaks Spanish the English language. So how did that come about?
How did I end up at Caroline House? I was connected to somebody else that worked there, and
Okay.
I mean, was a recent grad, and I was looking looking
Yeah.
or no, actually, no, I'm sorry, I was still in school when I was working at Caroline House, so I needed something that was a little more flexible, and that just worked really well. I think with global development and peace, I actually ended up doing my internship in Costa Rica, so teaching
Okay.
ESL was really helpful for myself too, and then being able to do a little bit of that there with some of their staff. Yeah, it just fit in really well. I think looking back at like my resume, like I made a lot of just different moves that I think looking back were entrepreneurial moves. I think we have to move a lot differently in today's
Yeah.
job landscape. Like I was saying earlier, it's like, everybody has like two or three jobs and a side hustle going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the way of the world now.
No, no, of course, of course. But I guess for me, it's just like that's like when did you like that's that I feel like that's maybe for you it's like cake, right? Like, oh, this is easy, but that's difficult. Like teaching a language. Like how did that come about? Like were you kind of doing it a little bit and you said, oh, let me go hard at it, or like how did that come about? The actual teaching of the language.
Um, I mean, I read a lot, studied a lot. Like I was already working on Spanish because I was trying to get ready to go to Costa Rica. So I
Okay.
mean, I feel like that overlap was helpful. And then I wasn't teaching people that didn't speak any English at all, too. So I think that was
Yeah, yeah.
also helpful. And they wanted an instructor that wasn't, defaulting to speaking Spanish. So
Okay,
it
okay,
worked
okay.
out. And I still run into my students all the time. So it's really great to see them
No,
around.
no, no, of course. I mean, when I started sharing that I was going to be interviewing you, some of your ex students that I know were kind of like, "Oh my god!" And then they're like excited. So I love to see it. I love to see it. So so when did the skateport idea when did it start developing? Where did it come from, and when did it start developing?
I picked up skating kind of randomly, like 2018, 2019. And it wasn't really something that I had planned to turn into a business or really share with other people, but it was something people were just really into. And yeah, so I was like, skating in Grizzly Park and Seaside, and like people are stopping me all the time. You post online, and then people are like, "I want to skate with you," and then people actually started buying skates. I'm like, okay, like, well, we can do this and
Yeah.
hang out. And then the pandemic happened,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, the whole world was crazy about roller skating. So there was just like an influx of people that were like, "I want to learn, I want to do this, I want to do that."
Really?
So yeah, yeah. So then, after well, I mean, not really after the pandemic, but in 2021,
Yeah.
when it was a little safer to gather in groups, it's like, let's try an event and see who
Yeah.
shows up. And we had our first event in September 2021. And yeah.
So are these people when you first started kind of getting into it and you started to meet people who were doing it as well? Are these people who like picked it up the way same way you picked it up? It kind of like out of the blue, or like starting from scratch as an adult, or was it people who've been doing it forever? Was it a mix?
It's a mix. Everybody's story is different. I know some people that have been skating for like 20 years, and then some people
Yeah.
that, just bought skates yesterday. So I think it's a really big range. And I think that's a great thing about roller skating. Like whether you've been skating for a long time or a little bit of time, like everybody's welcome. And there's always something to learn or to share with other people. So I think it's a really welcoming community too. And being able to craft that in Bridgeport has been really powerful.
No, of course. And when do you go from kind of just hanging out and skating with a group of people to like, okay, I'm gonna do an event. Like this, we're gonna do something official here, do an actual event. Like when does that happen, and what kind of what what happens if anything happens that kind of like changes or shifts your mind to from I'm just hanging out and skating to like let's have an actual event.
Yeah, I think there are no roller skating rinks in Fairfield County, and I think
Okay.
anybody that picks up roller skating, that's, like, the first thing that they realize, and yeah, so I think for me, it was a few things. It was, people being interested in wanting to skate with me, but then there just being sort of a need. So I think in 2021, when we had that first event, it was like, let's see how this goes and who shows up, and there were people that came out from all over the state.
Okay, so, and so that's how it starts to happen, and then when does it turn from an event to like okay, well let's I'm gonna do an actual this is gonna be a business. This is gonna be a real not that it wasn't real before, but this is gonna be like an official skateboard. When does that kind of shift happen?
After our first event. It
Oh,
went
so right
really,
away
yeah,
you're okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
so
so right away, it had been something that I was talking about and I think just kind of like playing at for a long time. And then my friends, is that sorry, is Yoshi crying in the background. My friends were like, you talk about this all the time. Like, why don't you just, try it and see? And I think talking to mentors and other people in my circle, they're like, like you don't know until you try. So try it and see how it goes. And it went really well and people were really excited. And yeah, so we had our first pilot event in 2021. And then we did our first full season in 2022.
and when you say season, what does that mean? What does it mean to have a season
It
in
means you have more than
skating?
one event.
Okay, no, okay,
For me, it
okay.
means you have more than one event.
Yeah.
So we're seasonal, right? Because all of our events are outdoors. So we started in June, and then wrapped up in November, I think, in our first year.
Oh, so from June to November, obviously, because it's mainly outdoors. Is that what it is? Or
Right. Yeah. Yep. So once it starts raining and it gets cold, unfortunately, we got to go inside.
no, no, of course. And how when you decide to make this change and have this business, what's the what's what's the feedback for the community the skating community? What's kind of the feedback?
People loved it.
Okay,
Yeah, the skating community really carried it. Like our first year, we weren't offering rental skates. So everybody that came had their own skates. So all of the
yeah.
people that came were, the people that were involved in the roller skating community already.
And then at some point you're like, all right, let's kind of bump this up a little bit and start
Mhm.
renting skates.
Yeah, so in 2023, we had the opportunity to purchase a shipping container.
Okay.
And originally I wanted us to be mobile and get a truck, but unfortunately that didn't
Yes.
work out. And then that was kind of our alternative plan, and I think that worked really well because we're able to be a part of the revitalization of downtown, and that's been great.
Yeah, no, and I saw that you guys pretty much just own that little that street there, that piece of street there. It's pretty much yours, right? How did I mean I'm not saying that it's yours, but you know what I mean? Like how did that come about? Like how like where did the idea come from? And how did it come about to have that, what was there a specific reason why you chose that street?
So that street was closed for like either 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
That Golden Host section that's painted off, like that was closed off. There used to be a building where Post Office Square is. So in 2021, they repaved the street. And roller skaters love fresh pavement. So as
Of
soon
course.
as I saw that they were paving it, I was like, I like that's the perfect place. So really it was just timing.
No, definitely. The back in the day that was there was a pawn shop there. There was a pawn shop right there where the brewery there was.
Mhm.
I remembered, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, so now is that piece of the street? Because I haven't been over there since the summer. Is it pretty much blocked off now for like for good? Or
No, just during the
okay,
season. Yeah.
okay, okay. And is that? I mean I don't know, but is that something that you have to kind of go back and forth with the city on in terms of like of okay in terms of being able to have it so
Yeah, I
so
mean, they were supportive, I
yeah
think for safety's sake,
Yeah,
It's better to have, like something heavier and that's easier for drivers to see,
yeah,
especially when you have 100 people roller skating in the street. So, it was definitely something different than, when we started out, we were just blocking the street just on event days.
yeah.
But, when we wanted to do more and as we start to develop Post Office Square, it's like it makes sense to block this section off. And for me, it was like, it was blocked off for like 10 years, like blocking it off for 6 months would be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. What do you call it? And then what do you call it? In terms of you talked about you talk about the season and having events. Um, what does that look like? Are we talking about every weekend, or like how is it that you're rolling it out, and is it going to change moving forward?
So last season we did twice a month, so we were doing every
Okay.
other Saturday, and then this year I anticipate doing the same thing, so keeping it to twice a month.
And is it strictly for roller skaters, or is there anything else going on there? In terms of I don't know, of food and just other things going on there for maybe people
Yeah.
who don't skate.
Yeah, yeah. So we love our skaters and our spectators. So we have stuff for
Yes.
our spectators to do. We've done different art projects at our closing event. We had people come out and we planted a pollinator garden that was, I think, 50 feet long.
Okay.
There's food trucks that come out. So we have local food trucks that are always there at our events. We have a DJ. And there's all kinds of stuff to do. So I feel like we lean a lot on the arts. So we've done some chalking, we've done some painting, so we're excited to bring out some new stuff this year too.
So you got some things kind of brewing already that you're not going to
We
tell me
do.
about.
Not yet, not yet. It's only February. It's too early.
So the season starts in June again,
Our
or
season starts in June. Yep, in Post Office Square. And then we'll start doing lessons again. I'm hoping in April, and then we're planning another indoor adult roller skating event at Park City Music Hall
yeah,
in November.
and that's where I was gonna go next because I saw that the skate. By the way, if you're on Instagram right now, make sure that you go to Skateport. Is it just Skateport or is it Skateport? What is it?
Skateport CT.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram right now watching, make sure you go to Skateport CT and like them and over and on what do you call it, and on Facebook as well. Even if you're on Facebook, go over there and check them out, like the page, and check out some of the pictures. I was looking on there today. I think it was either today or yesterday, and I saw some pictures that were inside Park City Music Hall. What's going on with that? What are you guys doing there?
So we've been doing Skateport Groove. So that is a 21 plus music event. So it's an immersive musical experience.
Okay.
And when you come in, you can skate. So we had Creative Spectrum, four-piece band played while everybody was skating. And then we had DJ Buddha Love Jones come in for the after party, and we had a great time. It was amazing.
Is there? I mean, I haven't been in there. Is there a lot of space in there?
We make it work. If
You
it's
mean?
flat and smooth, we can figure it out.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
love it.
it's a
I love it. I
really
love it.
intimate yeah, it's definitely an intimate, experience for sure.
And it's something that you guys are looking to do more of in 2024?
Definitely, yeah, so we're hoping to do at least 1 more this year.
Okay, okay, that's what's up, man. I love it. Like I said, I saw it and I was instantly intrigued. Now I'm not a skater. At least not skates. I'm a rollerblader, right? And we talked about this a little bit off
That's
camera
still young.
earlier. So no, so I no I have a question. Is that a thing? Is skater versus rollerblader? Is that a thing? Can we make it a thing, or are we not even gonna go there? Like,
No, I think I was telling you, the skating community is inclusive, right? So it's not versus, like, we're in
okay,
this
okay.
together.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
so rollerbladers are welcome as well. I don't rent rollerblades, but if you have
yeah.
them, bring them.
I don't know what it is. I tried a few years ago, Takina, and let me tell you, I cannot stay on my feet. Like I cannot stay on rollerblades, but I mean in roller skates. But rollerblades I can do like easily. So I'm not sure if it's a me thing or if that's a thing where some people can do one and not the other.
It's really common. I mean, for me, I can roller skate, but I can't rollerblade, but I can ice skate. So I don't know. I don't I don't really have an answer for you. I think it just depends on the person.
No, I'm just trying to figure it out because I'm just I'm like, I want to go, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to be looked at like as the outsider. Like, look at this dude with the rollerblades. We're roller skating here.
No, it's not like that at all. We love our rollerbladers too. I'm just glad you know the difference. It drives me crazy when people call roller skates with
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
4 wheels rollerblades. It drives me nuts.
You're like cringing. You're like, oh god,
Yeah.
that's funny. What do you call it? And in terms of in terms of age, right? 'Cause I know you said it's all inclusive, whatever. Is how young are we talking here for these events that you have in downtown?
Our youngest skater, I was saying 4, but I think our youngest skater was actually
Wow,
3 last year.
wow.
Yeah, and our oldest, was, as far as I know, 65. So we
Oh,
have a
that's amazing.
huge range, yeah, of ages, and it's actually like skews heavily adults. I think I
Yeah,
expected once we started offering rental skates to have more kids, but I don't know, the 20 and 30 somethings are really going crazy for roller skating this year. So it's
I love
exciting.
it. Do you guys do you guys do any trainings or any kind of maybe like classes or not necessarily classes to learn how to skate or rollerblade, but maybe like music type of stuff like you know kind of like dance salons or something. I'm not sure. I'm just like spitballing because I've seen videos of people dancing and I'm like I'm not sure if people are just dancing on their own or if there's like an instructor there kind of like dancing with people.
So with skating, there's like different routines that you can learn. So
Okay.
sometimes people just pick up routines or make up routines. It's like dancing, right? Like
Yeah.
we can all learn the electric slide and like we know how to do it. So it's like kind of the same thing with skating. It's like we just have a lot of versions of the electric slide basically.
Okay.
But we do offer lessons. So we have a coach, his name is Corey. So he'll
Okay.
start offering lessons again. Yeah, and we kind of co-teach the class. But he's great, super talented, and we have a really good time. So we're gonna bring back lessons again this spring.
Oh yes, see that sounds. Oh man, that sounds like fun. And this is like dancing, right? So wait, the lessons are like dancing lessons, not dancing, but dancing and roller skates, or is it roller skating lessons?
It's both, so it really depends on the
Okay,
level. So our beginners is like we're just gonna teach you mostly how to get up off the floor,
that's
how
me.
to move
That's
around the
me.
room. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, like once you have like your beginner basics down, then we move up a few different levels so people can kind of self-select what it is that they want to learn.
love it. I love it. I love it. Now, if there's somebody listening right now on Spotify, maybe they're driving their car to work right now, or maybe they're on a treadmill at the gym. Where can we find information about Skateport?
Skateportct.com,
Okay.
or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, skateboardct.
Okay, so cool, cool, cool. And in terms of helping, what can we do to help if somebody wants to help? Um, the business, I don't know, volunteer, I don't know, whatever. Like what do you look for in terms of like maybe folks helping you out? Because I'm sure you could use some help.
Definitely following the page, signing up for our newsletter, because we'll post a lot of like volunteer call outs there. Um, yeah, so I think just, answering the call, and we've had really great support from volunteers. People are interested in being involved in a different way. They want to sponsor, something like that. Email is great. You can do that on our website too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, super cool. Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube right now, go down to the description, and all the information will be there in terms of how you can get in contact with Takina and Skateport as a whole. And if you want to sponsor, if you want to get involved, please make sure that you hit the link and check her out and let her know that you saw it here. That way, we know kind of like where it's coming from, and we kind of take it from there. But please, and if you're listening to this, if you're not watching us, if you're listening, again, go down to the description of wherever you're at, and all the information will be right there, and you'll be able to see it there, and you'll be able to contact them there. I have a question here. Hold on. Let me put this up. Will there be an age requirement for those classes?
So last year we did just adult lessons, and then we did some outdoor like mixed ages. So this year we're looking to do some more mixed age classes. So minimum age will probably be like 5. At least in school, and kind of know how to follow
Yeah.
directions. Yeah.
Yeah. No. No. Of course. Of course. Of course. Super cool. And I know this is just me, just again, just kind of spitballing. But I know you said that you guys offer, or not you don't offer, but yeah, you offer rental skates. Um, Do you offer? I don't know if this is a thing or not, but do you also offer rental pads, like elbow pads and stuff like that, or do we have to bring our own?
No, so we have protective gear as well. So all of
Okay.
our rental skates come with wrist guards automatically, and then you can add on knee pads, helmet, and elbow pads if you wish.
Super cool. Oh, yeah, I'm super glad that I asked that question. Takina, this has been great. This has been super informative. At least I know for me, for some of the people that are watching, it's amazing. I love what you're doing. I love the Oh wait, one more question. What do you see? Like, what's your vision? Right, not even 2024, and not even giving me secrets, whatever. But just like, what's your vision of skateboard, in the future?
I want to open a roller skating rink here in Bridgeport. That is the vision.
That's the vision, and that's gonna happen. We gonna make it happen.
Absolutely.
Listen, anything that I can do to help with that vision, whether it's something that I can do tomorrow or something that I can do, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, please don't hesitate to reach out, Tikina, and let me know what I can do to help. Um, and I would love to. I would love to help however I can.
I appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you for having me.
No, of course. But listen, hold on. I can't let you go. I can't let you go
Oh,
yet. Before
I was trying to run away.
oh, no. Before you go, I got a few questions that have nothing to do with
Okay.
skateboard or skating. Just a few questions about you that I want to ask you. The first question is, what is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish. I've been making this really good red Thai chicken curry, but you can put it in the slow cooker, so it's like it's done and I don't have to do anything.
Okay, got it. And the follow-up question is always, where's the best place to get it? So I guess the best place to get it would be your house.
I guess so, yeah.
And what's your favorite genre of music?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm an R&B girl though, through and
Okay.
through.
Oh,
Yeah,
like an old school R&B girl?
yeah.
Like you're gonna be watching Usher at the Super Bowl this weekend?
Like, I'm gonna be watching Usher at the Super Bowl this weekend, please, and you know he skates too.
Oh, he
This
does?
is our Super Bowl. He does. You need to look up, some footage from his Vegas show. So, yes, I can almost guarantee there's gonna be people skating at the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Okay. I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
That's that's my prediction. Like, if he doesn't, I'm gonna be really disappointed, but no.
I'm super hyped. My wife and I were talking about a couple of days ago. We were talking about who we think he's gonna bring on in terms of like, of guests. And he has some great classics with other folks. But I'm thinking like, if Little John and Ludacris are not there, like I'm gonna throw a fit because I need them to I need them to be there. And maybe a little Alicia Keys for my boo. I need some little Alicia Keys too.
I gotta have everybody at the Super Bowl then.
Okay, and then the final question is, what's your favorite song at the moment? What's on repeat right now?
Oh, hmm. Song?
Yes, or or
Just
is it an album?
yeah, Janelle Monáe, Age of Pleasure, and Renaissance, of course. Like, but yeah, Janelle Monáe, Age of Pleasure has been great.
That's what's bumping right now. Love it. I love it. I love it. All right, again, listen, thank you so much. I won't take much more of your time. Thank you so much for this conversation. I love it. I love what you're doing. I love your passion. Again, anything that I can do to help, move your vision forward, whether it's with this or with your work, just let me know and we'll definitely make it happen. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna end the podcast in a minute here. I'll take you off the screen, but don't go nowhere. I want to talk to you for a few seconds before you get out of here. But again, thank you so much, guys. If you're watching, please don't forget to like Skateport on Instagram, on Facebook. Check out their website. Let the kid know how you can get involved. And just become part of this great project. I guess you can call it that. The kid has going on. I've been watching it for a while now, and I see people having a good time, and that's what I love the most about it. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you check it out. Takina, stand by. I'll be with you in a second.
Thanks for having me, Eddie.
Of course. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today to Transcendent Outlook Podcast, the Entrepreneurs of Connecticut. This is an awesome interview that I've been looking forward to doing for a while now, and I'm so glad I did it. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you go to Skateport on Instagram and on Facebook and you check it out, like it, follow it, come hang out. This summer is definitely a good time, good vibes. Um, and support. Good people are doing good things in our city. And we need to support that. We need to highlight that. We need to give that more exposure. We have enough people doing, spreading all the negativity. Let them do that. Let us go and spread that positivity and support those people who are doing great things. Guys, again, thank you so much for your support on this podcast and with this particular interview. I appreciate it. And don't forget, be transcendent.